Welcome to the channel NextGen Tech Prep. In today's video, we are diving deep into essential questions and comprehensive answers for the Google Professional Cloud Security Engineer certification. Whether you're preparing for an exam or just looking to sharpen your knowledge, you're in the right place. If you find this content valuable, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Now, let's get started.
An organization is starting to move its infrastructure from its on-premises environment to Google Cloud Platform, GCP. The first step the organization wants to take is to migrate its ongoing data backup and disaster recovery solutions to GCP. The organization's on-premises production environment is going to be the next phase for migration to GCP. Stable networking connectivity between the on-premises environment and GCP is also being implemented. Which GCP solution should the organization use? The options are: Option A, BigQuery using a data pipeline job with continuous updates via Cloud VPN. Option B, Cloud Storage using a scheduled task and SUDL via Cloud Interconnect. Option C, Compute Engine's virtual machines using persistent disk via Cloud Interconnect. Option D, Cloud Data Store using regularly scheduled batch upload jobs via Cloud VPN.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: migrate its ongoing data backup and disaster recovery solutions, stable networking connectivity.
The correct answer is option B, cloud storage using a scheduled task and SUDL via Cloud Interconnect.
Why is this correct? B. Cloud storage is the ideal, cost-effective service for ongoing data backups and disaster recovery. Cloud Interconnect provides the stable, high-performance networking connectivity required for transferring large volumes of data from on-premises to GCP. Why are the others incorrect? A. BigQuery is a serverless enterprise data warehouse designed for analytics, not for storing general-purpose data backups or disaster recovery files. C. Compute Engine persistent disks provide block storage for virtual machines and are much more expensive and less scalable for generic data backups compared to cloud storage. D. Cloud Data Store, Firestore in Data Store mode, is a highly scalable NoSQL document database for applications, not an appropriate or cost-effective storage medium for infrastructure backups and disaster recovery data.
A manager wants to start retaining security event logs for 2 years while minimizing costs. You write a filter to select the appropriate log entries. Where should you export the logs? The options are: Option A, BigQuery datasets. Option B, Cloud Storage buckets. Option C, Stackdriver logging. Option D, Cloud Pub/subtopics.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: retaining security event logs for 2 years, minimizing costs, export the logs.
The correct answer is option B, cloud storage buckets.
Why is this correct? B. Cloud storage provides the lowest cost storage options, such as coldline or archive classes, making it the most cost-effective destination for long-term log retention of 2 years. Why are the others incorrect? A. BigQuery is optimized for complex analytics and interactive querying, which makes it significantly more expensive than cloud storage for simple long-term log retention. C. While cloud logging, formerly Stackdriver, supports custom retention periods, extending it to 2 years is considerably more expensive than exporting the logs to cloud storage. D. Cloud Pub/Sub is a real-time messaging and event-driven computing service, not a persistent data storage solution for long-term log retention.
You need to centralize your team's logs for production projects. You want your team to be able to search and analyze the logs using Logs Explorer. What should you do? The options are: Option A, enable Cloud Monitoring Workspace and add the production projects to be monitored. Option B, use Logs Explorer at the organization level and filter for production project logs. Option C, create an aggregate org sync at the parent folder of the production projects and set the destination to a cloud storage bucket. Option D, create an aggregate org sync at the parent folder of the production projects and set the destination to a logs bucket.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, centralize your team's logs, production projects, search and analyze the logs using Logs Explorer.
The correct answer is option D, create an aggregate org sync at the parent folder of the production projects, and set the destination to a logs bucket.
Why is this correct? D. An aggregate sync at the folder level centralizes logs from all underlying production projects. Setting the destination to a cloud logging bucket is required to enable searching and analyzing the aggregated logs using Logs Explorer natively. Why are the others incorrect? A. Cloud monitoring workspaces aggregate metrics for monitoring and alerting, but they are not the correct mechanism for centralizing logs for Logs Explorer. B. Viewing logs at the organization level requires highly privileged roles and does not inherently centralize the storage or set up dedicated access for a team. C. Logs exported to a cloud storage bucket cannot be searched or analyzed directly using Logs Explorer.
Your security team wants to reduce the risk of user-managed keys being mismanaged and compromised. To achieve this, you need to prevent developers from creating user-managed service account keys for projects in their organization. How should you enforce this? The options are: Option A, configure Secret Manager to manage service account keys. Option B, enable an organization policy to disable service accounts from being created. Option C, enable an organization policy to prevent service account keys from being created. Option D, remove the IAM.ServiceAccounts.getAccess token permission from users.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, reduce the risk of user-managed keys being mismanaged, prevent developers from creating user-managed service account keys.
The correct answer is option C, enable an organization policy to prevent service account keys from being created.
Why is this correct? C. The organization policy constraint/IAM.disable service account key creation is specifically designed to enforce this requirement by centrally preventing the creation of new user-managed service account keys. Why are the others incorrect? A. Secret Manager stores and manages sensitive data securely but does not actively prevent the creation of new user-managed service account keys by developers. B. Preventing service account creation entirely is overly restrictive, as developers still need service accounts for their workloads, just not long-lived user-managed keys. D. Removing this permission only prevents generating short-lived access tokens, not the creation of persistent user-managed service account keys.
You are onboarding new users into Cloud Identity and discover that some users have created consumer user accounts using the corporate domain name. How should you manage these consumer user accounts with Cloud Identity? The options are: Option A, use Google Cloud Directory Sync to convert the unmanaged user accounts. Option B, create a new managed user account for each consumer user account. Option C, use the transfer tool for unmanaged user accounts. Option D, configure single sign-on using a customer's third-party provider.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, onboarding new users into Cloud Identity, consumer user accounts using the corporate domain name, manage these consumer user accounts.
The correct answer is option C, use the transfer tool for unmanaged user accounts.
Why is this correct? C. The transfer tool for unmanaged user accounts allows administrators to discover and migrate users who created personal Google accounts using the corporate domain name into the managed Cloud Identity environment. Why are the others incorrect? A. Google Cloud Directory Sync synchronizes users and groups from an on-premises Active Directory or LDAP server to Google Cloud, but cannot convert existing unmanaged consumer accounts. B. Creating a new managed user account does not resolve the conflict with the existing consumer account using the same email address, resulting in a conflicting account scenario. D. Configuring single sign-on handles authentication for managed accounts but does not address, migrate, or manage existing unmanaged consumer accounts using the corporate domain.
You manage your organization's Security Operations Center, SOC. You currently monitor and detect network traffic anomalies in your Google Cloud VPCs based on packet header information. However, you want the capability to explore network flows and their payload to aid investigations. Which Google Cloud product should you use? The options are: Option A, Marketplace IDS. Option B, VPC Flow Logs. Option C, VPC Service Controls Logs. Option D, Packet Mirroring. Option E, Google Cloud Armor Deep Packet Inspection.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, explore network flows and their payload.
The correct answer is option D, packet mirroring.
Why is this correct? D. Packet mirroring clones the entire network packet, including both headers and payloads, and forwards it to security tools or collectors for deep analysis and investigation. Why are the others incorrect? A Marketplace IDS is a third-party solution that consumes traffic, but it requires an underlying Google Cloud feature like packet mirroring to actually acquire the payloads. B. VPC flow logs capture network telemetry and header metadata, like source/destination IP and port, but do not record the actual packet payload. C. VPC Service Controls logs audit access to Google Cloud APIs to prevent data exfiltration. They do not capture raw network traffic or packet payloads. E. Cloud Armor provides WAF capabilities at the edge load balancer, but does not offer raw packet payload exploration for internal VPC network flows.
Your company requires the security and network engineering teams to identify all network anomalies within and across VPCs, internal traffic from VMs to VMs, traffic between end locations on the Internet and VMs, and traffic between VMs to Google Cloud services in production. Which method should you use? The options are: Option A, define an organization policy constraint. Option B, configure packet mirroring policies. Option C, enable VPC flow logs on the subnet. Option D, monitor and analyze cloud audit logs.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, identify all network anomalies, internal traffic from VMs to VMs, traffic between end locations on the Internet and VMs, traffic between VMs to Google Cloud services.
The correct answer is option B, configure packet mirroring policies.
Why is this correct? B. Packet mirroring captures the entire packet payload, allowing for deep packet inspection by IDS/IPS tools to identify complex network anomalies across all specified traffic flows. Why are the others incorrect? A. Organization policy constraints enforce governance and restrict resource configurations. They do not monitor network traffic or detect anomalies. C. VPC flow logs only capture network metadata and telemetry. They do not inspect full packet payloads, which is necessary for detecting advanced network anomalies. D. Cloud audit logs record administrative actions and API calls, not the actual network traffic flows or packet data required to analyze network anomalies.
Your team needs to prevent users from creating projects in the organization. Only the DevOps team should be allowed to create projects on behalf of the requester. Which two tasks should your team perform to handle this request? Choose two. The options are: Option A, remove all users from the project creator role at the organizational level. Option B, create an organization policy constraint and apply it at the organizational level. Option C, grant the project editor role at the organizational level to a designated group of users. Option D, add a designated group of users to the project creator role at the organizational level. Option E, grant the billing account creator role to the designated DevOps team.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, prevent users from creating projects in the organization. Only the DevOps team should be allowed to create projects.
The correct answers are option A, remove all users from the project creator role at the organizational level. And option D, add a designated group of users to the project creator role at the organizational level.
Why is this correct? A. Removing all users from the project creator role at the organizational level stops general users from creating new projects, fulfilling the first requirement. D. Adding the designated DevOps team to the project creator role at the organizational level grants them the specific permission needed to create projects. Why are the others incorrect? B. Organization policy constraints are not the appropriate mechanism to grant or revoke specific IAM roles like project creator to specific groups of users. C. The project editor role provides permissions to modify existing projects, not the permission to create new projects within the organization. E. The billing account creator role only provides permissions to create and manage billing accounts, which is distinct from project creation permissions.
Which type of load balancer should you use to maintain client IP by default while using the standard network tier? The options are: Option A, SSL proxy. Option B, TCP proxy. Option C, internal TCP/UDP. Option D, TCP/UDP network.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: load balancer, maintain client IP by default, standard network tier.
The correct answer is option D, TCP/UDP network.
Why is this correct? D. The TCP/UDP network load balancer is a pass-through load balancer that supports the standard network tier and preserves the original client IP address by default without requiring additional headers or protocols. Why are the others incorrect? A. SSL proxy is a proxy-based load balancer that terminates connections. It does not preserve the original client IP address by default, requiring the proxy protocol instead. B. TCP proxy is a proxy-based load balancer. It does not preserve the client IP address by default and requires the proxy protocol to pass client IP information. C. Internal TCP/UDP is designed for internal VPC traffic and does not utilize the standard network tier, which is intended for external, internet-facing traffic.
Your organization processes sensitive health information. You want to ensure that data is encrypted while in use by the virtual machines, VMs. You must create a policy that is enforced across the entire organization. What should you do? The options are: Option A, implement an organization policy that ensures that all VM resources created across your organization use customer-managed encryption keys, CMEK, protection. Option B, implement an organization policy that ensures all VM resources created across your organization are confidential VM instances. Option C, implement an organization policy that ensures that all VM resources created across your organization use Cloud External Key Manager, EKM, protection. Option D, no action is necessary because Google encrypts data while it is in use by default.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords: encrypted while in use, virtual machines, VMs, policy that is enforced across the entire organization.
The correct answer is option B, implement an organization policy that ensures all VM resources created across your organization are confidential VM instances.
Why is this correct? B. Confidential VMs utilize hardware-based trusted execution environments to encrypt data while it is being processed, in use. An organization policy ensures this requirement is strictly applied whenever new VMs are created across the organization. Why are the others incorrect? A. Customer-managed encryption keys, CMEK, protect data at rest, not data while it is actively in use by a virtual machine. C. Cloud External Key Manager, EKM, allows you to manage encryption keys externally for data at rest, but does not provide encryption for data in use. D. While Google Cloud encrypts data at rest and in transit by default, encrypting data in use requires explicit configuration using confidential computing features like confidential VMs.
Your organization is using GitHub Actions as a continuous integration and delivery, CI/CD, platform. You must enable access to Google Cloud resources from the CI/CD pipelines in the most secure way. What should you do? The options are: Option A, create a service account key and add it to the GitHub pipeline configuration file. Option B, create a service account key and add it to the GitHub repository content. Option C. Configure a Google Kubernetes engine cluster that uses workload identity to supply credentials to GitHub. Option D. Configure workload identity federation to use GitHub as an identity pool provider.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, GitHub Actions, enable access to Google Cloud resources, most secure way.
The correct answer is option D. Configure workload identity federation to use GitHub as an identity pool provider.
Why is this correct? D. Workload identity federation is the most secure method for granting external platforms like GitHub Actions access to Google Cloud. It eliminates the need to manage or store long-lived service account keys, reducing the risk of credential compromise. Why are the others incorrect? A. Storing long-lived service account keys in pipeline configuration files creates unnecessary security risks if the files are exposed. Workload identity federation is the recommended and safer alternative. B. Adding service account keys to repository content exposes long-lived credentials in version control. This is a severe security vulnerability that frequently leads to credential theft and unauthorized access. C. Workload identity for GKE is designed to allow Kubernetes pods to securely authenticate to Google Cloud APIs. It is not the mechanism used to authenticate external CI/CD pipelines like GitHub Actions.
You are using Security Command Center, SCC, to protect your workloads and receive alerts for suspected security breaches at your company. You need to detect cryptocurrency mining software. Which SCC service should you use? The options are: Option A, Virtual Machine Threat Detection. Option B, Container Threat Detection. Option C, Rapid Vulnerability Detection. Option D, Web Security Scanner.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, Security Command Center, SCC, protect your workloads, detect cryptocurrency mining software.
The correct answer is option A, Virtual Machine Threat Detection.
Why is this correct? A. Virtual Machine Threat Detection, VMTD, analyzes the memory of running compute engine virtual machines without requiring guest agents, specifically allowing it to detect threats like cryptocurrency mining software. Why are the others incorrect? B. Container Threat Detection monitors containerized workloads for runtime attacks but does not provide the agentless memory scanning specifically required to detect cryptocurrency mining malware. C. Rapid Vulnerability Detection scans public-facing endpoints for known vulnerabilities and misconfigurations, not active runtime malware like cryptocurrency miners. D. Web Security Scanner identifies security vulnerabilities in web applications, such as cross-site scripting, rather than monitoring workloads for active malware.
Your organization is using Active Directory and wants to configure Security Assertion Markup Language, SAML. You must set up and enforce Single Sign-On, SSO, for all users. What should you do? The options are: Option A, 1. Create a new SAML profile. Point 2. Populate the sign-in and sign-out page URLs. Point 3. Upload the X.509 certificate. Point 4. Configure Entity ID and ACS URL in your IDP. Option B, 1. Configure prerequisites for OpenID Connect, OIDC, in your Active Directory, AD, tenant. Point 2. Verify the AD domain. Point 3. Decide which users should use SAML. Point 4. Assign the pre-configured profile to the select organizational units, OUs, and groups. Option C, 1. Create a new SAML profile. Point 2. Upload the X.509 certificate. Point 3. Enable the change password URL. Point 4. Configure Entity ID and ACS URL in your IDP. Option D, 1. Manage SAML profile assignments. Point 2. Enable OpenID Connect, OIDC, in your Active Directory, AD, tenant. Point 3. Verify the domain.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, Active Directory, Configure Security Assertion Markup Language, SAML, set up and enforce single sign-on, SSO.
The correct answer is option A, 1. Create a new SAML profile. Point 2. Populate the sign-in and sign-out page URLs. Point 3. Upload the X.509 certificate. Point 4. Configure entity ID and ACS URL in your IDP.
Why is this correct? A. This correctly outlines the essential steps to configure a third-party IDP using SAML in Google Cloud Identity/Workspace, which includes creating a profile, setting sign-in/sign-out URLs, providing the X.509 certificate, and configuring the IDP with the entity ID and ACS URL. Why are the others incorrect? B. This option incorrectly focuses on configuring OpenID Connect, OIDC. The question explicitly requires setting up Security Assertion Markup Language, SAML. C. While similar to the correct option, enabling the change password URL is an optional configuration, whereas populating the sign-in and sign-out URLs is a required step for standard SAML SSO. D. This option incorrectly suggests enabling OpenID Connect, OIDC, which is not the protocol requested. The scenario specifically asks for SAML configuration.
What are the steps to encrypt data using envelope encryption? The options are: Option A, generate a data encryption key, DEK, locally. Use a key encryption key, KEK, to wrap the DEK. Encrypt data with the KEK. Store the encrypted data and the wrapped KEK. Option B, generate a key encryption key, KEK, locally. Use the KEK to generate a data encryption key, DEK. Encrypt data with the DEK. Store the encrypted data and the wrapped DEK. Option C, generate a data encryption key, DEK, locally. Encrypt data with the DEK. Use a key encryption key, KEK, to wrap the DEK. Store the encrypted data and the wrapped DEK. Option D, generate a key encryption key, KEK, locally. Generate a data encryption key, DEK, locally. Encrypt data with the KEK, store the encrypted data and the wrapped DEK.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords, envelope encryption.
The correct answer is option C, generate a data encryption key, DK, locally. Encrypt data with the DK. Use a key encryption key, KEK, to wrap the DEK. Store the encrypted data and the wrapped DEK.
Why is this correct? C. In envelope encryption, a data encryption key, DEK, encrypts the actual data. A key encryption key, KEK, is then used to encrypt, wrap, the DEK. Both encrypted components are stored together. Why are the others incorrect? A. Data must be encrypted with the DEK, not the KEK. Storing a wrapped KEK is structurally backwards. B. The KEK is not used to generate the DEK. The DEK is generated independently and then wrapped by the KEK. D. It mistakenly encrypts the data using the KEK instead of the DEK, which violates the envelope encryption model.
Your organization acquired a new workload. The web and application, app, servers will be running on Compute Engine in a newly created custom VPC. You are responsible for configuring a secure network communication solution that meets the following requirements. Only allows communication between the web and app tiers, forces consistent network security when auto-scaling the web and app tiers. Prevents Compute Engine instance admins from altering network traffic. What should you do? The options are: Option A, 1. Configure all running web and app servers with respective network tags. 2. Create and allow VPC firewall rule that specifies the target/source with respective network tags. Option B, 1. Configure all running web and app servers with respective service accounts. 2. Create and allow VPC firewall rule that specifies the target/source with respective service accounts. Option C, 1. Redeploy the web and app servers with instance templates configured with respective network tags. 2. Create and allow VPC firewall rule that specifies the target/source with respective network tags. Option D, 1. Redeploy the web and app servers with instance templates configured with respective service accounts. 2. Create and allow VPC firewall rule that specifies the target/source with respective service accounts.
To arrive at the correct answer, we focus on the keywords. Autoscaling the web and app tiers prevents compute engine instance admins from altering network traffic.
The correct answer is option D. 1. Redeploy the web and app servers with instance templates configured with respective service accounts. 2. Create and allow VPC firewall rule that specifies the target/source with respective service accounts.
Why is this correct? D. Using service accounts prevents compute engine instance admins from altering network rules, as they require specific IAM permissions. Instance templates ensure this secure configuration is consistently applied during autoscaling. Why are the others incorrect? A. Network tags can be freely modified by compute engine instance admins, violating the security requirement. Modifying only running servers does not handle autoscaling. B. Configuring only running servers does not ensure consistent network security when autoscaling new instances. Instance templates are necessary. C. Although instance templates support autoscaling, compute engine instance admins can still change network tags on running instances to bypass firewall rules.